do you have to jump over the jump rope to get the benefits of jump rope? This is a question that I've gotten constantly. So let's put it to the test. It's difficult to argue with science. What I did in this video, 5 minutes of jumping over the rope continuously, and then a couple of days later, I did 5 minutes of swinging the rope around me in a side swing, one-handed side swing, what have you. And I compared the calories burned, the heart rate. Stay tuned to the end where I will show you the difference between jumping over the rope and not jumping over the rope over roughly a 5.5 minute period. And then we'll see if the theory of those folks is something that you should consider. The first video, or the video to the left of the screen, is me doing 5 minutes of continuous jump rope, jumping over the rope. And the video on the right-hand side is me doing 5 minutes of continuous swinging the rope, but not jumping over the rope. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you the breakdown, the comparison of how the exercise had an effect on me, on my heart rate, how many calories I burn according to my Google Pixel watch. The workout was tracked on my Google Pixel watch. I think that this is a good video to do because it's always good to subject to science and tracking and measuring what people claim. There are a lot of folks on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram who will make comments on different jump rope videos that say that you have to jump over the rope, that it doesn't count if you don't jump over the rope. Count, I'm not sure what count means. I guess if I had to guess, what they're saying is that it doesn't mean anything if you don't jump over the rope. From a coordination standpoint and a skill set standpoint, I would say that that's not true. I would say that's absolutely not true. I would think, and I would tell you that it takes just as much coordination to do what I'm doing on the right as it does to do what I'm doing on the left. It's just a different kind of coordination. It takes a lot of coordination to do both. It takes a lot of coordination to jump over the rope, but it also takes a lot of coordination to swing the rope from side to side and to not trip over it. Because if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, the rope is going within inches of my feet each time I swing it to the side. So if you don't move, when you're doing these types of moves, these types of no-jump movements, if you don't move correctly and you don't move with precise rhythm and timing, the rope is going to get caught on your toe, most likely. It's happened to me before. When I've missed just one step, my coordination is off just a bit, the rope gets caught on my toe. It's the same thing as what I'm doing on the left-hand side of the screen. It's just a different, it's just a different type of coordination, but it's the same idea. You're using the rope as a tool, but you don't want to jump over, you don't want to hit the rope. You want to either jump to the side of it or you want to jump over it. So from a coordination standpoint, I would say for the folks who are posting that doesn't count when you don't jump over the rope, from a coordination, from a skill standpoint, I would tell you after 6 years almost of jumping rope every day, I'd tell you that that's not true. From a cardiovascular standpoint, which is the main reason why I'm doing this video, we'll see if there's any difference in cardiovascular system tax, how taxing it is in comparison to do what I'm doing on the left to what I'm doing on the right. What's the difference in how your body is taxed, how many calories you burn, what your heart rate is throughout. There may or may not be a difference. I'm not sure. At the end of the video, I'll show you the difference. How I did this video was I did about 5 minutes for each. I think I jumped over the rope for about 5 minutes and 45 or 50 seconds, and I jumped to the side of the rope. I didn't jump over the rope, what you're seeing me do on the right-hand side of the screen, for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So it was about the same. And I think that I stopped on the right-hand side because I didn't remember if I had set my timer on my Google Pixel watch. So I had to stop for half a second to figure out if the timer was still going, because sometimes the timer doesn't always register. But it'll all depend on how fast you're going. I could move a lot faster than what I was moving in both of these videos. But what I wanted to do was move at a speed that was comfortable for me so that I could accurately represent. I wanted to move at about the same speed so that I could accurately represent the comparison of both exercises so that I could deliver you valuable information when it comes to tracking, when it comes to how taxing it is to do either of these. So you'll see that I finished out. Well, actually, yeah, that was on the right-hand side. That was when I looked at the timer because I thought that the timer had stopped. So I stopped for about a second. Probably nothing appreciable that would have disrupted my workout measurements. I think this video is important because there are a lot of folks who make a lot of crazy comments on social media. Sometimes most of us know not to believe those people, but it's always good to back up your claims with science or to put to the test what people are saying with science. So I finished up on the right-hand side, and I'm about to finish up here on the left-hand side, and I just finished up. So what I'll do now is I'll post the results and we'll talk about them. This exercise breakdown is the breakdown and analysis of 5 minutes straight of jumping over the rope. You can see with the baseline statistics that my average was 139 beats per minute, that I was in the cardio zone for 5 minutes. At the end, my heart rate was 153 beats per minute. I jumped for 5 minutes, 52 seconds, 139 beat per minute average, and I burned 60 calories in 5 minutes. You can see the calorie breakdown, 10 calories per minute, a little bit over that if it's 60 calories per almost 6 minutes. And the impact, 738 steps. Not bad. I think that if you can burn more than 10 calories per minute in any exercise, that's pretty good. So that was the breakdown of jumping over the rope, 5 minutes of jumping over the rope, or 5 minutes and 52 seconds. Now we'll go to 5 minutes of not jumping over the rope. You can see here that the session was 5 minutes, 33 seconds, beats per minute, 132, which is 7 less than jumping over the rope. Calories burned, 46 versus 60, so that's pretty significant for 5 minutes. As we move down to the calorie section, 8 calories per minute rather than 10 calories per minute. So you can see a bit of a drop in the 5 minutes of not jumping over the rope versus 5 minutes of jumping over the rope. Overall, it looks like jumping over the rope gives you a better cardio workout. It burns more calories. The beats per minute was 7 beats higher, which is decent. So I think that when we do this breakdown and we look at jumping over the rope versus not jumping over the rope in 2 completely different sessions in a controlled setting, we can see that from a cardiovascular performance standpoint and burning more calories, jumping over the rope is more beneficial. But from a coordination perspective, from getting in general exercise, I don't think it matters. I think if you have an exercise session where you don't jump over the rope at all, you're still going to get the benefits. 8 calories per minute, 132 beats per minute. That's a good exercise session. That's a good exercise session. You can see that in the statistics that I was in the orange the entire time, which is a good zone for me. So you're going to get a workout. You're going to get a worthwhile workout if you don't jump over the rope, if you move the rope from side to side. You're still going to get a workout. So for all the folks out there who were saying that you have to jump over the rope to get the benefits, I'm not sure what benefits they were talking about, whether it doesn't count jumping over the rope as a repetition, or whether it doesn't count from an exercise and science perspective, or whether it doesn't count in terms of burning calories. I'm not sure. What I wanted to do with this video was show you that if you have an injury that precludes you from jumping over the rope, you don't necessarily have to jump over the rope to get a good quality exercise session in with the jump rope. If you do jump over the rope, you're probably going to burn more calories over time, as evidenced with this breakdown and analysis that I did. But rest assured, if you get out there and you throw in a couple of side swings where you're not jumping over the rope, or you jump over the rope, or you don't jump over the rope for 5 minutes, you're still going to get a good quality workout.